All right, Mike Kozak back again, another short fitness blog. We're going to take today to talk about a very, very common topic for youth training or advanced athlete training, and that's speed and agility training. Probably the most common call I get from parents, hey, do you do speed and agility training? Obviously, yes, we're a complete comprehensive strength and conditioning facility. Speed and agility is a component of that. Now, with that being said, the most critical part of speed and agility training, and where a lot of people and younger trainers or just people who go out and buy their own stuff on the internet go wrong, is the difference between teaching skills and just doing drills. Okay, for instance, here you see I got cones, we use agility ladders, we use hurdles we got back there, we use the bungee cords, we use the sleds, we use it all. Okay, all effective pieces of equipment. And I'm going to start just with the agility ladder. I used to do these a ton with all of my clients. Now I've kind of backed off a little bit, and here's what I started to realize. We use it for our beginner kids, especially the kids that maybe are not as coordinated, because it's a great way for them to, one, work on being lighter on their feet and keeping their feet moving, and two, improving their coordination, moving left to right or forward or backward. Okay, and it's also a very easy way to teach little hopping sequences. And plus, it's easy to get good at. So my younger kids who are a little lower self-confidence, maybe week 1 they struggle with the ladder. And week 3, they're ripping through the ladder. Immediate confidence booster. Okay, and there's no replacement for something like that. A lot of these kids need confidence boosting. Ladder, very, very effective way to do that. Now, my kids that have been in my program 2-3 years, I realized they can't get any better or any faster at the ladder. So really, we only use it for 2 reasons. 1, a secondary warm-up, and 2, our quick feet lateral plyometrics, which I'll talk about in another blog, okay? Speed ladder, great for foot quickness. I'm not trying to devalue improving foot quickness, but just doing ladder drills will not make you faster at the 40 or faster on the field. That's about putting force into the ground at the proper angles, and that is what the agility ladder does not do. Okay? Now, talking in terms of skill versus drill, you see I got the cones out here in a very popular configuration called the star drill, where you start in the middle and run out and loop around it and loop around the middle and through. Good drill, okay? Certainly can be done. I know if you're training a lot of kids in a team setting, you need to set up different stations, and that's fine. The thing is that if all you do is drills, and if I took a couple kids and said, okay, run around cone 1, cut a cone 2, run the cone 3, that's great. Conditioning, they'll get in shape, but are you really improving speed if all you're doing is going to this cone and touching that cone, and this cone and touching that cone, if you're not actually being taught the skills of shuffling, crossing over, sprinting, decelerating, and then re-accelerating in different angles. And that's the difference, and that's what I think separates us as far as speed and agility goes, is that all we focus on is the skills. Now, we may take the skills and use them in some drill formats. For instance, 1 week we may do crossover sled runs where we're resisted, working solely on creating force right off the bat, and that's all we're working on for the day. This next week we might go crossovers and shuffles, working on stopping at cones, decelerating and re-accelerating, so it's more of a closed drill where the kids know where they have to start and stop. Then maybe the next week we take the cones out, and now I'm pointing them and cueing them. They don't know when they're going to stop and start. Okay, those are all drills, but the goal is not in itself the drills run around cones. It's performing the skills properly. So they're being instructed how to perform the skills, then they're being put into situations where they use the skills properly, and that's where true speed and agility comes from. It is not just hooking kids up the bungees and saying sprint. It's the quality of work, not the quantity of work. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. I'm not saying our drills and our systems are end all be all. I know there's all sorts of state-of-the-art video game systems that may be good. I don't know much about them. I know a lot of really good trainers for younger kids take skills and put them more into a tag or game setting, which for kids under 11 years old, man, that is a perfect way to do a little bit of conditioning and use your skills in a game setting. I don't have the space in here to do it safely. Maybe in a couple of years, if I expand, we will definitely do those kind of tag and reaction type games. But basically, if you're a trainer or a coach You need to make sure that you're focusing on teaching skills and not just setting cones out and saying, hey, do this drill, touch that cone, do that. Okay, separate skill from drill, and always quality of work